What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Dat Talk Podcast. I go by the name of Bake, and I got my co-host with me.
It is champion reasons here today. The champs are here. When we started this, bro, back in like March, April, whenever. It's been like 37 shows. I think we'll show like 37, 38. Either way it goes.
It's been a minute.
When we started this during the pandemic, me and you questioned whether the NBA would return.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got a little closer and we was like, ooh, we gonna get some NBA, right? Because I remember we was in the middle of it, like, ugh. And then it came and it was questions like, can the Lakers do it? Mm-hmm. Can they do it? Then the bubble starts and the Lakers look horrible because we talked about it. We talked about it. We sitting there like, ooh, the way they playing, they ass may be going home quick, fast, in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
But all along, they was coasting. I didn't see coasting. I saw bad basketball, but I guess they was coasting. Then, you know, bro, the Portland Trailblazers, a team that I said I really didn't want to play because they was hot. And you know how it is in the NBA. Hot teams usually, it's hard, man. Dame was hot. The Trailblazers was hot. But LeBron and company got rid of them. And wow.
Yes, he did.
Then it was Houston. James Harden, the greatest one-on-one scorer in NBA currently.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron James and them got rid of them and
mm-hmm.
Then the upset, the shocker, the Los Angeles Supercuts. Oh, my bad. Los Angeles Razor Blades? No, that's not them. Los Angeles Rollerblades? No. The Los Angeles Toenail Clippers? No, that's not. Okay, anyway, go. Yeah. Them kids that share a stadium with us, they blow a 3-1 lead.
They did.
And we had to play the Denver Spicy Nuggets.
Mm-hmm. They were spicy.
They were spicy.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Jamal Murray, the Joker, got rid of them in what?
5. Mm-hmm.
And we get to the ship. The Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Put some respect on their name.
Miami, first off, before I get into the Lakers, I want to give major respect to the Miami Heat.
Jimmy, a.k.a. Buckets.
I want to give, but we don't care that he's Jimmy Butler. We don't care if he's the Butler. Got his ass up out of here in 6. Like Shannon Sharp said, Tyler Hero, Guitar Hero, Superhero. Lakers in 6. So it was a long road, man. It was a long road being a fan of this team.
It's a whole year, actually.
Bro, this started last October.
Yes, it did.
And people have the nerve to like really try to downplay this championship because I've said it. I didn't care who won.
Yeah.
The respect that a team deserves. Again, that's why you got to give respect to Miami. Mm-hmm. The respect that teams deserve to go through everything they went through to basically play, quote unquote, a calendar year of basketball. The Lakers and the Heat were in the bubble for 95 days.
A long time, brother.
95 days, bro. And, you know, the greatest franchise in the world, and I'm talking all major sports.
They're one of them.
They're the greatest franchise in the world, and I'm talking all major sports.
Y'all gotta beat Boston though. You gotta take Boston lead. Boston's up there.
Yeah. But here's where we differ with Boston, right? Like, you respect Boston.
Yeah.
Boston is a great franchise. But in the modern era of basketball, the modern era, Boston has 4 ships. In the modern era of basketball, Lakers got 11 of them things.
So what do you consider modern era? Are you talking about the 80s, the 90s?
I want to say relatively when things became more equal, like as far as like teams and players, because you got to think about it. Them Boston teams of the 60s.
Yeah, they had like Bill Russell had like what 11 of them.
Yeah, they was a super team before we was talking super team. Where you really just look at the Hall of Fame names that was on one, like Bill Russell, Havlicek, Cousy, Sam Jones. Like, they ain't got all them dudes retired jerseys in the Boston Garden for no reason. Like, come on. Like, we think we thought the Warriors was loaded. Nah. When John Havlicek is your 6th man, they just people that really know basketball. John Havlicek was the Celtics 6th man. What's your starting lineup looking like?
Crazy.
Come on, bro. What's your starting lineup? When Havlicek is 6th man, your starting lineup got to be out of this world.
It's out of this world if he's a 6th man, because that boy was.
So in the modern era, the Lakers have won 11 ships. Boston's won 4. So I want to say early, mid-70s, 75 through now, where teams became a tad bit more even, equal, and it wasn't so lopsided for the most part. And yeah, man, it's just as a fan looking over these past 6 years, because we won in 2010, we got swept in 2011. Kobe tears his Achilles in 2012. We go to the playoffs. We get swept by the Spurs. And to be back on top, bro, it's just one of those feelings that's hard to describe. And I didn't even play. But I just, like, I know, like, as a fan, because their emotions as winning, but as a fan, and being a real fan. Because we have to understand, a lot of people are LeBron fans that are Laker fans.
Yeah, I'm not a Laker fan. I like LeBron. I can say
So since the Lakers have declined, LeBron has managed to win 3 ships. So it's been a lot of jubilation for a lot of LeBron fans, seeing him win, be excited for the Heat, be excited for the Cavs. But us Laker fans that was struggling with Robert Sacre starting at center, and Jordan Kelly, or Ryan Kelly, and Jordan Hill, Nick Young, Wayne Ellington, Jordan Clarkson, D'Angelo Russells. Before he was Lemon Pepper Lou, he was L.A. Lou. Hurt Kobe, aging Kobe. Kobe with the Achilles, Kobe with the knee, Kobe with the shoulder, Kobe retires. Byron Scott, Mike Brown, Mike D'Antoni bum ass, Luke Walton bum ass. The list goes on and on and on. And now finally, he's back at the mountaintop. And as a fan, man, like last night was just pure jubilation. I got to use big words to describe how I felt.
Jubilation.
Pure jubilation to just see the franchise again back on top. And I just want to personally thank Magic Johnson first, because Magic started this with how he got it rebuilt. I want to thank Rob Pelinka for maintaining this. I want to thank Jenny Buss for getting rid of her dumbass brothers. That's the front office. I want to thank Anthony Davis for understanding that you have to come to LA and not play for the little brothers. The big brothers get a ship. And then I got to sit here and personally thank LeBron James for his greatness, his commitment to excellence, using a Raider term, his leadership at times, because sometimes I'll be mad at him. But for the most part, his leadership, his I had another word. I just want to thank LeBron because when you come to LA, because he said it, we don't give a damn about what you did before.
Mm-hmm.
We only care about the now. And because of the now, LeBron has moved into my LA's Mount Rushmore, rightfully belongs. And I'm looking forward to a few more seasons with LeBron, cheering for LeBron, being excited for LeBron, and all that kind of stuff. Today is not the day where I want to critique LeBron and bash his greatness. I want to embrace it, enjoy it, and then I will want. Now that he's won for the Lakers, I want to talk about his legacy when it's done. I no longer want to talk about LeBron's legacy while it's currently being written because his book is not closed yet. And I would rather look at the books and all the chapters at once to do a fair comparison on who, quote unquote, the GOAT is. But right now, he's making a solid case on his way to Gotham.
The Book of Gotham.
The Book of Gotham. I like that. I like
the Book of Gotham.
You got a table of contents and everything.
Yeah, man. Chapters. Book of Gotham.
The Book of Gotham. I think we're gonna have to trademark that.
The Book of Gotham.
We're gonna have to trademark that. Because if we hear that in these streets,
somebody took it from us. The Book of Gotham.
Yeah,
who is in the Book of Gotham?
He's in the book
I know who's in the Book of Gotham. It's the man that I've been preaching about all this time since we started the show. His name is LeBron, and you disrespected him by not putting King James. The king is back on his throne. Oh, did he do it? Did he do it? Full-time MVP. And look, I said it. I said the Heat will get two. Look, everybody criticized Bron. Why you didn't shoot the ball? Why you give it a Danny bum-ass Green? Blase, blase, blah. Look, man, I'm going to tell y'all this, and I hope y'all listening to me. Get your earwax, clean them out, and pay attention. LeBron ain't got to play like Kobe. LeBron ain't got to play like Mike. Respect his greatness. Respect the way he played the game. He plays the game the right way. Because if you really look at it, people like Jimmy Buckets, he plays similar to LeBron. He does what he got to do. He gets buckets, but he's all about playing team basketball. And I get it. Some people say, hey, you a superstar, take the shot. In most cases, we already seen it. LeBron has the highest clutch percentage in the NBA. So you can't say the man not clutch. He just makes the smart plays. And sometimes you win or you lose. It can be a great thing or it can be a bad thing. It all depends on your perception and how you view it. But what that man has done in year 17, and the man don't look like he declining. He look like he getting better. Shooting 40-something% from the three-point line. I got to say it again. 40? He's in the 40s? And he wasn't just taking like 2 or 3. The boy was jacking them bad boys up. He's now the number 2. Wait. Not number 1 yet. Not number 1. If he keep going to these finals, he may be number 1. But number 2 for the most three-pointers made in the finals. And they say this boy can't shoot. They say LeBron can't shoot. How the hell are you the number 2 three-pointer three-pointer shooter and makes in the finals if you can't shoot threes? If you can't shoot. No, you had your chance. I got to talk about GOAT James, who's going to be in the Book of Gotham as one of the best. Now, I get it. Everybody want to debate the MJs, the Kobes. That's cool. They play the game the way they play it. I give them nothing but kudos. But stop disrespecting this man because he don't play like them. Stop disrespecting this man because he don't lead like how he lead. Stop disrespecting this man because he's, what AD say? He different. The man is different. Full-time. That's all I'm calling him. Mr. Fo.fo.fo. Probably a scripture or something. I don't know. It's something. But LeBron James, man.
Call him Fo for Fo?
You celebrate. You be happy about this because this by far, and everybody was discrediting him and saying, well, he didn't play against the Clippers. Who fault is that? That ain't his fault. The Clippers was up 3-1. They had a chance to get in that finals. They had a chance to play against LeBron. They wasn't mentally ready. The supposedly more mental team were all them dogs. Yeah, all them dogs must have found a bone because they took their ass home. And the GOAT, LeBron James and his Lakers and AD, they kept pushing. They said, hey, all we can do is play who in front of us. They said, y'all didn't get the Boston Celtics. Y'all didn't get Giannis. Y'all didn't get none of the good teams from the East. Who fought is that? They played the game just like the Lakers. But they didn't handle their business. Time off just like the Lakers. They didn't handle their business. They didn't handle their business. Everybody discredited the Heat except for Mark. Mark got it right. And I want to give the Miami Heat a whole lot of credit because they getting disrespected talking about that even though they wasn't favored to win none of those games, they have heart of a champion and they're going to be a solid team in the East that people better watch out for. When you get to the championship, bro, it does something to you. Jimmy Buckets know what it feels like to be in the finals. And I think he's going to be even better. I think he's about to escalate or elevate.
Yes, I got you.
Elevate his game to be a solid superstar player. He got all the tangibles. He got to work on some things. Get the bit. Like, I wouldn't say he can't shoot. I just say believe in it because I think these players can shoot, man. It's just the confidence of being able to take it. That's the difference. That's the difference between the Kobe's and Mike. Mike and them, they had just shoot it. It didn't matter if you had 4 people on them, 3 people on them, and they was open. And that's confidence. The Kevin Durant, that's confidence. That doesn't mean, look, you're in the NBA for a reason. Obviously, you're good. But you got to have the confidence to want to shoot. The Steph Curry's shooting it from half court. If any other sport, we would be telling a point guard, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? And I think Steve Kerr probably said it a few times, but after seeing it go in more times than none, you'd be like, hey, that's Steph. Because it's confidence. The Damian Lillards, it's the confidence. And I think what LeBron showed this year in the finals, even though he didn't take that shot that I probably wanted him to take regardless, he showed confidence. He was shooting a lot of threes this year in the final. I mean, jacking them up. I mean, and hitting them too. Yeah. That's what you call shooting 40-some%, bro. 43% from 3. That is an amazing, bro. Look, I'm just gonna call it this, man. There's so much that man does, and I just recognize his greatness, man. He does a lot of amazing things, and people just don't respect his game because he don't play how they want him to play. He plays the way he wants to play. He plays the game the right way, and I give kudos to a man like that. And for this dude to be in the 17th season and still feel like he's elevating his game and still can get better, still can improve parts of his game, he's only going to get a better shooter because when you lose athleticism, what do you got to do? That's what Vince Carter did. Start depending on it, you got to shoot more. So I guarantee you he's going to start shooting more. He's going to start improving his jumper. And if he still got a little bit in that first step, it's going to be crazy, man. I'm proud of the Los Angeles Lakers, but I'm proud of LeBron James because of what he went through, what he had to go through to get. Now, this may not be his toughest team he faced for a championship, but I would say this is probably one of the toughest championships he had to go through to take 5 months off, come back, play 3 in some months in a confined area. No family, no nothing. No, you're getting the same food, same meals. You're in prison. That's tough. And that's mental tough.
Luxurious prison, but
that's leadership. And to get your team to you just seen it, man. In the finals, he was just on a different, like mentally, he was locked in a different gear. It was like, we gonna win this damn thing. Even game 5, put up 40 points. He went in that mentality, like, I'm trying to get this thing over. I'm shooting 8 for 10 from the 3-point line. It's time to get this damn thing over with. And it just came up short.
You got to blame his coach for that. His coach cost him his moment. So this past weekend, man, I had a very long, in-depth conversation with our guy, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the conclusion that we drawn when we talk about James, because Mark is a huge LeBron fan.
Yeah, fact.
So when he's like you. So I listen to y'all criticism of him. I listen to y'all praise of him, and then I also listen to how y'all say where he could be better, where he shows things. So my guy Mark basically said he always wanted LeBron to become the competitor that Kobe and Jordan was.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, he's so much of a teammate that he really enjoys seeing everyone around him prosper.
Yeah.
You feel me? And sometimes that becomes a detriment to him because he's such a teammate. And it's not a bad personality trait, but in sports at times,
it could be.
That selfish you has to kick in. And we've seen him when he go into selfish LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
He drops 50 in game 1 against the Warriors.
Yeah.
He drops 45 in game 6 against the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
He seals the game in game 7 again. We see selfish LeBron. And when we see it, we be like, oh, Nelly. But we don't always get that LeBron.
I feel you. I give you that.
You feel me? And I think as a person who is a big Kobe fan and as a kid watched Jordan, that's what we're so accustomed to. We're so accustomed to our superstar being selfish, technically, all the time.
Right.
Because they want their moments. Yeah, it's cool for these other players to shine. Like, yeah, that's cool. But at the end of the day, what me and Mark talked about is the mental behind it. So Kobe and Jordan looked at it like, if we gonna fail, I know that I can fail and mentally get over it, right? If I give it to somebody else and they fail, can they mentally get over that hurdle?
Right.
Of having that pressure of Danny Green was receiving death threats and
all kinds
of crazy stuff. You feel me? It got real bad. But overall, it's like, can he recover from that mentally? Do you become gun-shy? And I mean, he's a vet, but overall, we talk about rookies, younger players. LeBron likes to put players in situations to where they like sink or swim. But then it's like he doesn't deal with the full criticism of the person that missed that shot or the person that, that. And so that's what me and Mark said. We want LeBron to be able to be like, we know you're great, so you can handle all that. You've been handling it since you was 18. Right. Sometimes it's not good to put others into that light. You feel me? So that's kind of what we talked about. And then the other thing was that 40-point game was supposed to be that legacy game. That game where he has the picture of him hitting that shot in the finals. Kobe never had a chance to have that shot in the finals because he never played in a game where
he did. He passed it to Ron Artest. Ron Artest hit the 3 against Boston Celtics. Watch that game back. He hit off the backboard. Watch the game back.
Can I finish it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to be 100. Kobe had a chance. Ron Artest shaved Kobe Bryant 5th championship.
All right. Was the Lakers already winning that game, or was that a shot that put them up?
That was a shot to put them up.
The Lakers already winning that game. That was a shot to seal it. Yeah, yes. Lakers are already up 4 or 3.
No. Look at that shot again. That shot was a pivotal shot because that was a shot. Kobe was going to take it.
That came with a minute left, and the Lakers are already winning.
No.
Yes.
All right, man. You keep thinking that.
I'm trying to I know it.
That shot was pivotal. Because I think it was going to be a 1-point lead. I don't think it was a 4-point lead.
It was like a 3. It was the Lakers are already up 3. They were already up.
It's like 1 or 2, though. It was like that possession was critical.
Yeah.
And he made that shot, and it banked off the backboard.
Yeah, but what I was getting – see, you didn't
even – I get what you're saying.
So what I was getting at was Kobe never had the game-winning shot moment in the finals.
Yeah.
He never had a chance to do it, whether it was – even with that Ron Artest shot, that came with like a minute and some change. It was still a lot of time left in between that because Sasha Vujacic had to go knock down 2 free throws towards the end of the game to win the game.
Right.
in Game 5, I believe, of the finals against Orlando, Kobe got double teamed in the post, ended up kicking the D fish, and he hit the shot in the finals. And with Shaq, they was just steamrolling teams. So he never was in those situations. Again, that's not Kobe's fault. That's just how things played out. Jordan in the finals had 2 game winners. He had one against the Jazz in 97, and then he hit, obviously, the iconic one in 98. That shot right there was supposed to be LeBron's legacy shot. And again, it's not his fault because I feel like
he tripped for it. I don't care what nobody said. They said he wasn't triple team.
No. I'm saying it's not his fault because he made the right play. Because I mean, he was going right, and all LeBron's game-winning shots have been going left. So once he went right, I didn't understand it until I watched. Like after the game, I watched a 13-minute clip of LeBron James game winners. Every game winner that he's ever taken has been left on the left side of the court. Y'all can go YouTube it and go look at it for yourself. He's hit one where it was on the right side, but he got screen going left, and then he came back right and threw a running hook and beat the Atlanta Hawks in like a regular season game. But every other game-winning shot in LeBron's career has been either him shooting left, catching and turning left, or going left, or on the left side of the court. It's a crazy stat. It's a very interesting thing to say. And because if you look at it, when they played the Warriors and he kicked it to Kyle Korver, he was going right and he passed to Kyle Korver on the left. A year before that, when he was on the Cavs and they played Boston, he was going right and he kicked to Darren Williams on the left. And again, with Danny Green, what happened? He was going right and he kicked to Danny Green up at the top. So in my head, I felt like Vogel should have went 4 flat and just let LeBron work and then just let him live with that shot. Because if he hits that shot,
I don't think he was going to shoot it, though. I think he was going to go to the paint regardless.
Yeah, but I'm just saying overall.
Jimmy did try to get a foul.
Yeah, I'm just saying overall. You go flat and let him just go win the game. He's had a hot hand. He was cooking. That's why I feel like you don't put him in a situation to where he got to pass it. You just say, Bron, go win the game. Because, if he hits the shot, no one can say nothing to him no more.
Oh, they was going to say something.
No. If he hits the shot.
I mean, if he hit it, they'd probably be like, oh, that was a great shot. But if he missed the shot, they'd be like, oh, that's why it's damn if you do, damn if you don't.
No, he isn't a damn if you, damn if you don't. But there will be not saying that nobody will bring it up. But it starts to kind of get rid of that stigma around him that he's not willing to take that shot in that moment. Even though he's hit plenty of those shots.
I think he was going for a layup because it's a higher percentage shot. You only down one or whatever. And he playing to his strengths. That's LeBron did.
But again, that's why
I get what you said. He had a chance to have a legacy moment.
Yeah. And it's not his fault that he didn't have it, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't his fault. It's the coach's
if they would have played him single or whatever, I felt like they was going to – the way Jimmy Butler played them, right, LeBron would have literally had to – which he doesn't do a lot is dribble pull-up. That's not his strong suit or whatever.
He hit 3 of those as his game winner. He hit 1 against the Pacers, dribble pull-up. He hit 1 against the Celtics, dribble pull-up. Going left, and he hit another. So, like, going left. I know he could do it. But if you looked at the way Jimmy Butler was playing them, he was playing them up, bruh. He was at half court. So, the way he was playing the dude, you get what I'm saying? When Michael Jordan was getting played by Brian Russell, he wasn't all up in him crazy. He was playing, and then Jordan drove. He took him. People say it was a push, whatever. Use his momentum. And created that space. Jimmy Butler was playing LeBron at the half court line. Forcing him to go to the paint.
Like if you took a contested shot, that would have been a horrible shot. And people would have been like, why the hell did you shoot it? He didn't have that moment where, like, for example, KD can dribbled up and he shot that long three-pointer, he was already sizing Bron up by the time he got past half court. He knew what he was going to do. So by the time he shot it damn near 2-3 feet away from the three-point line. LeBron came out there. It's a difference because if LeBron would have been pressing him up, he wouldn't have had an easy shot like that. The way Jimmy Butler played defense on LeBron, it made it impossible. LeBron would have had to do a dribble pull-up, which was going to be a tough shot. Not saying he could have missed it or made it, but the basketball, if you pressing me up like that, I'm going to go by you because that's what we taught. Or if you got a step back in your game, you could do the Michael Jordan move. That would have been crazy if he did the Michael Jordan. But nowadays, they probably would have called the push off on LeBron because he ain't never did it before like that. If he would have been like and they'd have been like, oh, my God, that's it. They would have did something. But here's my thing. And here's my thing. Like, I feel like LeBron is a different leader. He's one of those leaders that allows other people to either become leaders or learn from a situation and either grow from it or sink from it, because that's how real life is. I like leaders who allow me to be able to have opportunities to lead, to have that moment, right? And I think LeBron, he can be that, which we've seen in this finals, he could be that guy. And some people don't like that guy. That's just what it is. Some people was getting mad. He checking people, cussing people out. And like, if you heard it, people was like, LeBron was cussing me out crazy or whatever the case. But we all knew, quote unquote, it was coming from a good place because y'all winning. But imagine if y'all was losing. Oh, it would have been all kind of craziness or whatever. So I think he has that in him. But I think this year, it was something different because of what they was playing for. It was bigger than just a championship. They was playing for Kobe. They was playing for the bubble. They was playing for social. They was playing for just all these things. All these things was coming out and dealing with. And I think you just seen a different LeBron, man. When you lose your brother and somebody you say is your best friend, a good dude, you want to win it. It creates a different kind of motivation for you. And I think that's what you saw with LeBron. It was a different it was a business LeBron. Like, we about to take care of business. And I think with the shot.
Take care of Bronny ass in a minute.
Yeah, he about to. But the way LeBron was smoking on that cigar, apple don't fall too far from the tree. I'm just going to call that a spade. And I know he didn't have the Jordan legacy moment, but I think it was better the way they won was the LeBron legacy moment. Team basketball. It's not about me. It's about these guys. It's not, these guys been in the trenches with me. Like, I remember Rachel Nix asked AD, are you willing to start? And we get into the next question. Are you going to be carrying LeBron over these next 3 years? And LeBron said it, like, bro, he's carrying me a lot. Like, when I'm not having a good game, he's there to pick me up, and I want to make sure I'm there to pick him up. It's like a damn near. It's not a Jordan and Scottie Pippen because they two different style of players, but I think they got that relationship where they don't want to let each other down. Like, if I'm having a bad game, then I'm gonna pick it up for my brother.
I feel like, not to cut you off, I feel like they're more like a Powell and Kobe.
Yeah,
because you see how close Powell was like the only player that I really seen Kobe kind of do what LeBron is doing for AD. And even though like Powell and Kobe relatively the same age, but Kobe held Powell to a standard.
Yeah.
And Powell held Kobe to a standard.
Yeah.
And the only other person that could kind of get at Kobe was Fisher, which was like the general kind of guy.
Yeah.
You feel me? But as far as that tandem of superstars, especially with a big and a little kind of situation, that's what LeBron and AD kind of look like. Bron and Wade was more like a Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
Where they didn't want to let each other down, but because they're wings, it's like, you do your part, I'm going to do my part. And they have like a regular relationship.
I feel like it's the same way though. I think it's an accumulation of both because they brothers. Like LeBron and AD are brothers. They're boys. Like, that's his big bro or whatever the case may be, and you can see it. Like, you can tell. Like, they really, really genuinely got each other back. That's it. Like, Mike and Pippen, they was, even though they didn't get along,
they were
boys. Like, these dudes are brothers. Like, you could just tell, man, the way they gel and they mesh with each other. Like, your brother, I get mad at you crazy, but then after like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like, hey man, you want to get something to eat? You good? You straight? Let's go get some food, man.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about that. You get what I'm saying? Boys, y'all mad right now. You get what I'm saying?
Draymond Green, KD, the Warrior KD relationship.
Right?
They never became a family.
Exactly.
They were just boys. And that's cool. I mean, and some of those relationships work. Shaq and Kobe, they was just boys. They didn't become the brother situation until afterwards. And that's what you see a lot of out of championship teams and out of championship relationships that sustain, you feel me, when teammates become brothers and not just boys. And I think me and you right here have really, like, I feel like that's a real foundational piece to look at championship teams and relationships.
Facts.
And why certain things are different is because, and why turmoil happens and why you can do documentaries and people don't want to speak about certain things versus if they do a Laker documentary on this team or however you want to look at it, it's going to be just an open book because
they're real.
They're going to be real about it because they was real life friends. I ain't got to sugarcoat how I feel because they've been holding each other accountable. They both kept saying it. We hold each other accountable. I can challenge him. He can challenge me. And we know at the end of the day, like you said, I'm going to be mad at you, but I'm going to be like, hey, Bank, you trying to go get some food?
Yeah.
Let's go get some food. You feel me? And that's just the fact of the matter. And so it's a beautiful thing to see AD and Bron. Bron about to be entering year 18 when we start acting.
And it don't look like he's getting older, bro. I've never seen a man feel like playing basketball all his life and feel like it's crazy. And it's going to bring me to this question in regards to, do you think the Lakers have another opportunity to repeat or win more championships? But before we get into that question, I've never seen nobody on the late end of his career feel like the man can play another 4 or 5 years because of the way he take care of his body. And that's what another way you get into the book of GOATism is the way this man took care. The man only had really one real detrimental injury out of his 17 years of playing hoop. One. And it was a growing injury. He still was able to finish. It just never recovered. You know what I'm saying? But one, and I knock on wood, you know what I'm saying? Don't want the brother to get hurt as he get older, but it's a testament to just seeing him, what he did in his finals and just in his whole playoff. The brother don't look like he getting any younger, man. So I got to ask, bro, do you think the Lakers got a chance to repeat?
Of course. I mean, you got a chance to as long as you got Bron and AD, you always going to be in a conversation. It's going to come down to what else is being the surrounding parts.
Gotcha.
That's really all it comes down to. Like, for example, if I don't see this happening, but if AD doesn't resign, then I can't sit there and say the Lakers got another shot again. Right. Just the same reason as if AD is there and they haven't really put in somebody else and Bron retires, I can't sit there and say like, oh yeah, AD about to lead us, because it's a 2-star championship thing. We know that. Yeah. It's only been once where Dirk, the sole superstar, has won a championship, but the surrounding parts around Dirk were still very good. Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, Tyson Chandler. He still had a lot of good parts. Right. But in this NBA, Dirk ain't winning no titles like that.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
It'd be tough. And then you have to, then you may, because the Heat was kind of like an off-brand Piston team where you don't have like a mega superstar, but you got a lot of guys. But again, I don't think that kind of team is going to win this ship either. Yeah. So, I mean, they it's going to be tough. They missing some pieces, but for them, I think if Jimmy continue to work on this game and they get some additional help to support them, they're going to be nice. No, I'm just saying, like, overall. Oh, I get what you're saying, yeah. Jimmy and Bam have to just continue to elevate to where they become the two dudes, and then you got the surrounding parts. Yeah, I see that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they become the two dudes. Oh, then it's like, oh yeah, you gonna be. They got a problem because they're athletic, they're gritty,
they're grindy and they're blue collars and they really, really play team basketball. They move that thing. They just need some more pieces. They just missing a couple of more pieces.
They need more bench depth. They need some people because I feel like they starting 5, however you want to do it. They 5 is going to be cool, but they need bench depth that can kind of keep that going. Iguodala's a little older now. He ain't the young spry Iguodala. Kelly Olynyk is a solid piece, but anything in between that is like Solomon Hill. Like, nah.
Yeah, it's rough.
It gets rough. So back to the Lakers. I just think the Lakers have a chance, man. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Honestly, I feel like they are one signing away from blowing the doors off the NBA. Because think about this.
Who do you think they're going to sign?
They got to bring back Boogie. Hear me. Think about this. When AD and Boogie were together, how good were the Pelicans on the verge of before Boogie tore his Achilles?
I hear you.
I'm just saying they were
good, but you got to think about it, man. Boogie ain't been healthy.
Time out. Wait, just hear me. So, if Boogie, you don't need Boogie to be 25 and 12. You don't need that. What you do need is for Boogie to be about 16 and 9, 17 and 8. Because what he's going to do is just make the game so much easier for Bron and AD. Because Boogie, unlike AD for the most part, going to go sit his big ass in the post, and he going to get some of them easy buckets. So now when you coming down the court, it's like, now Boogie, because what centers are in the league? Ain't no centers in the league. You Joel Embiid, yeah. But other than that, ain't no real defensive centers in the league that's going to bang with him. But because he's also versatile enough now to shoot the trade ball, now LeBron has 2 big dudes who can pick and pop. Do we lose something on the defensive end? Yeah. But that means your guards, whether LeBron is the one, then you bring in some defensive-minded guards to handle some of the perimeter stuff. But overall, a Boogie gives you an inside-out presence. So he can rebound like a JaVale McGee and Dwight, but he can score like they can't score. So you're able to do games where LeBron can rest the game because you got AD and Boogie. AD can rest the game because you got Brown and Boogie. Boogie can rest the game because you got AD and Brown. Because you don't want Boogie to have to – you're not signing him to be the focal point. You signing him to be one of them finishing touches to that piece to where it's like, what y'all going to do? If y'all want to play – if y'all – like, they can go big and really make teams suffer because Boogie is just going to punish people. It's like, no, just go punish. And I feel like you bring in Boogie. If you don't bring in Boogie, you got to go get you a Bradley Beal, a Zach LaVine. You got to go do something like that if you want to continue to prosper.
Devin Booker, right?
Huh?
I don't think they're going to get Boogie because they let him go already. I don't think they'll pick him back up.
They only let him go just to have more depth going into their playoff roster.
Yeah, it depends if they bring him back or not. I don't know if they're going to bring him back or whatever the case may be.
They said he want to come back. Reports are he would like to come because when they let him go, he still worked out with the Lakers as far as his training. So when they let him go, he was still able to be with the Lakers to get his rehab, to get all his work. So all that still, the pandemic changed some things. But for the most part, he was still under the Lakers umbrella as far as getting him healthy and everything.
Okay, we should see if they do bring him back. I think the Lakers do have a chance to repeat. I think with a couple of more pieces. I think a lot of players like Caruso, I don't think his contract's up, right? He's still coming back.
The Lakers don't clear the books. So my other thing was if they don't do it this year, right?
Yeah.
The following year, so that's 2021, 2022, the books are cleared.
Who's a restricted free agent right now? I think Morris is gone. He's
only people that's unrestricted is Morris, Howard,
Rondo.
Howard and Waiters. Rondo signed for 2 years with a player option. KCP signed for 2 years with a player option. And JaVale McGee signed for 2 years with a player option. So they can opt back in and be with the Lakers, or they can go chase the bag and go do something else.
Okay, got you. I think that the Lakers are still a contender because you got LeBron and AD. I just think they got to make sure they put some additional pieces around them to help out a little bit more. I feel like what they not missing too much on the inside presence, because you don't want too much inside. But I think Boogie, if they do sign Boogie, he provides a definitely a post scorer on a consistent basis. But it depends too, because maybe they do pick and roll with him and Brian. I have no idea how that will work. But I feel like one of the things they're missing too, and I think they did it very, very well. They didn't have a Bradley Bill. I'm not Bradley Bill, but they didn't have a Timothy Bradley. They didn't have not Timothy Bradley. Avery Bradley, man, he been gone or whatever. And so I think maybe another consistent shooter. I know they probably got Danny Green still for another year, but Danny Green
may be gone.
I know, but I'm just saying, as of right now, he's still on contract. He signed for like 2 years or whatever the case.
2 years, $30 million.
Yeah, and so they may trade him or whatever the case may be. It depends. I feel like they're missing a consistent perimeter defender or whatever that can really help with the perimeter defense. I think Caruso is solid. He can do things, but I think Caruso definitely got to improve his jump shot just a little bit. He can attack the bucket. You saw that. I think that dude definitely impressed me. I think.
Can you put some respect? Can you put some respect on the man? Because he was Caruso. No.
Yeah, he was. I'm not gonna hold you. When it was in the playoffs, he was Caruso. No, and KC broke. That's who they was. I ain't gonna hold you. But in the big game moments, the other players did play very well. I think the Lakers are definitely going to be a contention. We're going to see the league next year, but with LeBron James and AD on the same team and they healthy, they're going to be a problem, man. And I'm looking forward to what the next year, because it's going to be right around the corner. All right, basketball is going to be right. I don't know how it's going to be though. I really don't. I don't know if they're going to be playing in the stadiums now because of everybody else is playing in their stadiums. I don't know if it's just going to be no fans, if they only have like 5,000 fans. I don't know. But we're going to know as we get closer.
They got a lot to when it comes to that, they got a lot to figure out. Because just like baseball, the NBA travels a lot.
Yep.
See, in football, you feel me, even though, again, football got COVID outbreaks, and they don't even travel a lot. They only travel once a week.
Yeah.
And so I just think with basketball, you're going to kind of, depending on where we are, they're going to have to kind of do basketball how baseball did it and do it very regionally.
Yeah. It's going to probably be more regional, so you ain't got to do as much traveling.
Yeah, do it a lot more regional. So, or it's like bubbles, but not bubbles, if that makes sense. So you do more of a regional thing to where you not going so far west and then everybody's not coming so far east.
Mm-hmm.
And then you sprinkle in a few games. But they still trying to do an 82-game season. So that means they trying to, like I'm just saying, that's on the books, they trying to do a full 82.
We're going to figure it out. I don't know what's going to happen.
But the NBA is great at figuring things out. So
I definitely want to give the kudos to the NBA for no positive COVID cases.
Wow.
In 3 months, maybe even longer than that, no positive COVID cases. Kudos to them. What they doing is working. Now we're going to see if they can do it on a long span. It's going to be tough. But before we get out of here, I just want to give props to the NBA. I want to give props to the people who participated, all the teams that participated in the bubble. It was tough, the good, the bad, the ugly. I appreciate the NBA for standing up for some, social justice and showing that we matter to a certain degree. I get it. It's all about the dollars and you're going to do what you got to do for the bread, but you don't have to do it. And they did it, and putting Black Lives Matters and letting players wear things on their T-shirts and letting us advocate and continue to keep that narrative. And I definitely want to give shout out to Adam Silver. And then for sure, the Miami Heat, the most grittiest team I ever seen in today's NBA. Didn't have a lot of superstars, but they beat a lot of teams that everybody put in front of them and thought that they was going to make it to the NBA Finals. So I definitely want to give them respect. The Heat is going to be a team people better watch out for. And then most importantly, man, to the Los Angeles Lakers, man, King James, AD, they showed I really appreciate their relationship. And maybe it's only going good because they're winning. But the simple fact that you could just tell, like, it's a different type of superstar to superstar. And it's less friction. It's just more genuine, more real. It's showing you that you can really be superstars. And maybe Kyrie and KD will show a semblance of that. We will see, because the league is going to be different. I'm just saying, because they're supposed to be both. They're boys. They're like brothers, supposedly. We'll see. Hey. People
I got more faith in Clay and Steph.
No, come on, dog. Clay and Steph are like, they're like light-skinned twins. They're like.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, my early prediction is going to come down to Lakers and Warriors.
Lakers and Warriors?
I feel like, you know, as I remove my Warrior hate and I just look at basketball, the Warriors are about to be a problem next year.
Yeah, they are. They are. But
it's
going to be Lakers, Warriors. Clippers. I'm still going to throw the Clippers in there. They had a meltdown, so you know they're coming with vengeance this year. You know they're coming with vengeance, and don't sleep on them Nuggets.
And yeah, to me, those are the heading in right now. My super early prediction. Those are the top 4 teams in the West, barring any catastrophic injuries of some unnecessary sort.
Yeah, no.
And again, you know, before we get out of here, you touched on it earlier. LeBron James' longevity is just a testament to his career. To be able to avoid, thankfully, and continue to avoid that injury that, you know, that has debilitated a lot of our great stars. Like we saw Kobe's last 3 years just being injury riddled, but Kobe's body was broken up. And I don't think it was not because he didn't want to take care of it. It was just, you know, certain bodies.
He just gave it. He gave it all he got. And certain bodies just get in.
You feel me? It just, again, certain, like, because you got to think about it. Vince Carter was a guy that did it all, but his body didn't give away. We didn't hear about a super Vince Carter having that crazy injury or nothing like that. T-Mac with the back, Yao Ming with the foot, Shaq with the calf. You know, like a lot of Steve Nash and his back. A lot of great players. I think Jordan was really the only one to kind of just walk away healthy, because his major injury came when he had broke his foot back when he the second year in the league.
Yeah.
Magic with the whole HIV thing. Isaiah Thomas with his his wrist.
And ankle.
Well, his ankle happened in the finals, but the wrist injury is what got rid of him. Dominique Wilkins tore his Achilles. Unfortunately, KD has had the Achilles tear.
Yeah.
You know, so like when you look at all these superstars, mega superstars, LeBron has been the one who has avoided that. And I just hope, just for the sake of basketball, that he continues to avoid that and he continues to be on this path of Gotham that you know, that we're gonna write that book. Yeah, the book of Gotham. I feel like we're gonna have to start putting that book together.
Yeah. Who's in the book of Gotham?
Yeah. You feel me? I feel like we can do a 30-chapter book.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gotta do 30.
I don't know if that many that goats. I don't know. That's a lot.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, we because we do a 15-chapter book.
Yeah, 15 maybe. 15
chapter book.
15. I was even gonna say 12. 15 is a lot.
12 is cool. 12 is cool.
It's a short read.
Short read. Gonna have it in all libraries, in all places. The
book of Gotham.
The book of Gotham. So people got to stay tuned, man. I feel like that'll be good. And our book of Gotham is highlighting chapters. We're not necessarily saying who's the GOAT.
Yeah.
But we are putting together a book that highlights 12 possible GOATs.
Yeah.
And the things they have. I feel like that's a good book. I think we're on to something with that book.
I think we could just put like what do people have to be part of the book of Golden? Like, is it like accolades? Is it longevity? Is it legendary moments? Like, if you got these things, you could be part of the book of Golden. Like, and then we're gonna
go through it, and we're gonna see if you make our top 12.
Qualify.
If you qualify for the book of Golden.
It's been a crazy NBA season, and it's finally come to an end. We're gonna be talking about basketball in a different light moving forward until the season comes. Before the season comes back, we got a lot of dope series we're gonna be doing for hoops, man. Again, shout out to the Lakers. All I ask people to do is finally put some respect on the King James. And definitely put some respect on that man, God. Because without him, no Bryant, no none of that is coming to be, man. But anything you want to say before we get up out of here, Reason?
The champions of the world.
Oh, man.
We the champ. Y'all already know. Check out my IG. I've been going up. You feel me? I'm drinking again today because I'm grown and I can. I was drinking last night. Champagne. Shout out to my guy, Mark. He's supposed to be sending us a bottle of
and what that champagne, man? I want to take some of that fine wine.
Man, we out here going up. LA was going up last night. It was crazy. It's crazy because a lot of people got arrested too, so people please be safe.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be safe. Definitely be safe. Take care of yourself. COVID is still around, okay? And most importantly, vote. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers again. And we will see y'all next time. Always remember to talk that talk. We out of here, man.